Hello everyone, Crash here, this is RTA Motorsports. Today we're going to be taking a look and unboxing the SimLab XB1 Handbrake. Here we go. All right, everyone, so you may be asking yourself, Crash, you already have a handbrake. What are you doing? Well, I've had this Fanatec handbrake since its inception. It's a few years old, and I'm going to be doing a long-term review on that handbrake and my thoughts and opinions, especially after trying a load cell handbrake. I've never tried a load cell handbrake before. We do like rally titles. We do like drifting, although I'm not great at either one. So I do use the handbrake quite a bit. How has my Fanatec handbrake fared over the years? We'll go into that video there. And I think especially if you sim race on consoles or you're looking into getting into sim racing, because Fanatec does use that handbrake with their wheelbases that are compatible with consoles, you may find a lot of good information in that video. So definitely stay tuned for that. But we're going to be looking at a little bit more of an enthusiast PC only option here, and that is the SimLab XB1 Handbrake. So let's get into this box. All right, so first thing actually I want to, before we actually get into the box, first thing I want to say is I do enjoy packaging, and I got to say, although it's just a handbrake, yes, I am just aware it's a handbrake. Seeing a box with the logo on the side and it being compact and really just, it just screams quality, and it screams that this is not a DIY sort of homemade project. A lot of things in sim racing or niche hobbies seem to almost give that appearance of, you know, hey, this is homemade or this is garage made. This feels like I just purchased this at Best Buy, as far as this box here with the logo on the side and just how compact everything feels. I really do enjoy that. Kind of something that I also signified when I reviewed the Husenfeld Sprints, as well as my sequential shifter, how those came packaged. It was a very, very smart packaging decision for those, and it just screams to the quality, right? So let's go into the box here. And it's a box within a box situation here. So we do have the SimLab handbrake in its own packaging here. So let's get rid of this cardboard. And you can see that we do have the SimLab XB1 handbrake. The box itself is inside just this plastic protector on the outside, probably to protect it against any sort of scuffs or scratches. It does have a product label on the outside there. So I'm definitely going to hold on to this just in case there's any information there that I need. I don't know if there's any sort of, you know, warranty registration or anything like that. The thing I do got to say is immediately looking at this box, it really does scream to the same quality and presentation of like my Husenfeld sequential shifter or the pedals. And I do like that because it does say that there's quality here. There's thoughtfulness, smart packaging, and a lot of times that translates into the product's quality. So I really do, and I really like to see this, not just, you know, hardware thrown in a box in a bag or anything like that. So you do have the handbrake on the front here and the handbrake image itself. So I'm going to bring it up to this camera so that way you can see it a little bit better. On the bottom, it says the XB1 load cell handbrake. So they're putting load cell quite a bit on here, just in case you forget that there's a load cell in it. I don't know. It says on the side here, this package contains the XB1 load cell handbrake, USB-A to USB-C cable, damper set, mounting hardware. Shows a little image there on the side of the handbrake itself, kind of like a engineering sort of image there. And then on this side here, we do have some of the features. So it says aluminum construction, proprietary 150 kilogram load cell, adjustable brake curve, adjustable dead zones, and knurled handle. So it's actually pretty cool, the knurled handle. It does have a QR code, probably brings you right to the product page right there. And then on the front, it does say simlab.eu. So that's their website. All right, so that's pretty much for the packaging here. Let's jump into the box itself. So we're just gonna flip this up here. All right, so we are greeted with this quick start guide. So it shows you exactly how to get the handbrake on, as far as like handle, the knurled handle onto the rest of the handbrake, I should say. And it also shows, and I'm gonna bring it up to this camera here, some mounting options for aluminum profile. So it looks like that they are pretty much counting on that whoever's going to be mounting this handbrake to their rig. They're mainly going to be using aluminum profile rigs. Now, I'm sure you can mount this onto anything with a shifter mount or shifter plate. So it doesn't necessarily have to be an aluminum profile rig. You just may have to get a little inventive. They also sell what looks to be here a shifter mount. Now, I didn't buy the shifter mount because we do have a shifter plate that is quite large, as well as my current handbrake is mounted to the aluminum profile, much like they show here on the top there, where it's mounted to the top of it. So I figured we would just do that. And I do like the placement of my handbrake, and I feel like this one's not going to be much different as far as its alignment. So it should be pretty good there, but they do sell that triangulated mounting plate, so that way you can really angle that handbrake towards you. It looks like there's a slot on the top there, so you can really swing the front of it and really get that angle optimized. That's pretty cool. I kind of wonder how much they sell that for. There is a QR code that takes you right to the bracket in case you want to purchase that there. All right, so let's actually jump in and take a look. Wow. There we go. There we go. Now, this is going to be the first handbrake that we are messing with that is a load cell. That is not just position based. It actually is going to be measuring force, and maybe we could get a little muscle memory in there. That's one thing that I've grown to not really like about my handbrake there is, you know, it's really hard to really judge where you are in the throw and how much force you're giving it, because it's constant tension pretty much all the way through. It definitely serves a purpose. It served its purpose with all the setups I've had over the years, but I think it was time to definitely try a load cell. So let's take the base out and kind of go over the design, because it is absolutely gorgeous. Look at this. Look at this. Oh my gosh. So I do got to say, you know, just kind of looking at the very simple design that is here, it you know, I've seen some videos on it, seen some impressions, and it doesn't look like much. Just looks like, you know, you have a load cell, you have a handle, and you have a bracket, right? But when you look at it in person, you really get a sense for just the craftsmanship, how beautiful everything is. You do have, you know, the satin finish here, the nice gold satin finish. You have this knurled sort of finish here on these aluminum screws that are holding the dampener in place, and then you have a spring underneath. This kind of looks like it's, you know, pretty much taking up the slack between the dampener and the load cell, kind of a preload spring, and that's in place there, and it's just peeking through, and it's just interesting to look at. Now, if I take this, you know, which would be the handle, and try to torque it against the base, there is no play whatsoever side to side. That is solid. Now, I'm going to test it again once we get it mounted to the rig, because then I can really wrench on it. But yeah. And then you have just these little mounts here on the side. Let me get this really close to this camera so that way you can see it. Just how it's coned in on both sides, just to make it look a little bit more interesting. I don't think that serves a function of it being a cone shape other than just appearance. This is gorgeous. See the SimLab logo there on the side. And on the back here, we'll try to get it in position so that way you can see it's on this side here. That is where the USB-C cable is. Now, the one thing I like about it actually having USB-C is, you know, most cell phones now, including iPhone, are starting to migrate over to USB-C. So that means that most people are going to have USB-C within their homes. They're going to be able to replace this USB-C cable fairly easily in case something happens. You never know, maybe a cat bites it, or a dog, or you never know. Things happen, life happens, and to use a micro USB port, which, you know, a lot of different companies and products are still using, it's just screams kind of like old technology. And then you kind of wonder, you know, did they really care about the product at that point? Maybe there's a reason why some of these are still using micro USB, but it's just harder to come by, harder to find, and it's not really something that you're stocking in your house in case something happens. So I really like to see USB-C. I have plenty of the cables in my house. If this one breaks, I could always use another one real quick and then order a cable, right? So let's take a look at the knurled handle next. So this, oh wow. This is the knurled handle, and it definitely feels like a solid chunk of aluminum. I do got to say the knurling is a flat, smooth-ish knurling, but it does have enough bite and enough grip to it where you know, you're not going to be able to spin it. If you're holding onto it with your hand, you're not going to get any sort of torque that's going to spin this in your hand. But it's not a sharp knurling, much like, you know, a power bar or a deadlift bar or anything like that. It's comfortable. This is nice. This is really nice. But this does have some weight to it too, so that's pretty cool. And it speaks to the quality of the overall build so far. And I gotta say, you know, I've seen some videos where they changed out the dampener, the dampers, the little rubber bushings here, but I've seen how they actually do it, and the overall design of it, I love how simple it is and how quick it is to really just change these little rubber pieces out and get the feel that you really want. Let's see if we could actually get a little bit of a pull here while it's being held down on the table. So that is, you know, I am getting it to move a little bit. Now, of course, it's not mounted, so it's not easy to do this. I am compressing the spring a little bit. I am compressing this damper a little bit, but it's not moving quite that much. I know you can put, you know, multiple dampers on there, or you can change them around and get a little bit more of a throw, make it feel a little bit looser, or you could actually make this thing rock solid where it's just only sensing the force of your pull. So I do enjoy a little bit more of a throw along with more of a force at the end. So we'll see what we can mess around with to try to get that sort of feeling. But overall, I mean, this thing is moving. I'm getting it to move about a centimeter, but it is not moving side to side. This thing is rock solid. And I do got to say, I love that sort of design to it. You can see the scalloped bottoms there. And there was a lot of thought that went into this design, but it's simple. It's simple and elegant. I really like it. I'm kind of wondering how the gold is going to clash with the rig, whether it's going to clash or not. But the blue, I do have many things on my rig, including my seat. I have an Alcantara seat that's the same color blue as what you find on these knurled screws. So it's really going to match really nicely. I'm very excited about that. So let's look at some of the additional accessories that we have here. So first and foremost, we have the USB-C cable. Pretty long USB-C cable, if I need to say so myself. Let's take a look at possibly how long this is. Oh, wow. This is a big cable, and that's really good, because a lot of times products come with cables that are super short and almost unusable, because, you know, if you're going from your rig to a PC and the PC is not on your rig, I don't know where they're thinking. So this is actually a really long USB-C cable, and I think this should work for pretty much everybody. That is perfect. Thank you so much, SimLab, for actually taking your customer into consideration and doing that. Because they could have just gave us a 3-foot cable and said, here you go. And then let's see, let's take a look at the dampers. So we do have some dampers here. It looks like 3. All right, so we do have one here. It says 70A. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that on the screen there. 70A on the top, and it is pretty firm. I am able to deform it a little bit by squeezing it, but it is pretty hard. This is a pretty hard one. And then this one here is 50A. I'll try to get that on camera. It's kind of hard to really do with that camera there, but this one is quite a bit softer. I'm able to deform it, almost flatten it out by squeezing. So those are 2 different ones. They're going to have 2 different feels to them. I don't know if the one that's already pre-installed on here is the softest or the middle one. Not really sure. But then this little one here is more like almost like just a spacer. It feels like it's hard plastic, almost like nylon plastic in a way. So I'll have to like pull it up on their website and kind of see what they recommend. Maybe watch a few videos and see what people recommend as far as the setup for those, to try to get the feel that I'm looking for. And then of course we have to mount it to really feel what the pull feels like. And then hardware. Oh, okay. So we do have some Allens here that came with it, and they have like a nice grayed out anodized finish with a little bit of knurling on the cap. I don't know if that's actually coming across on this camera here. I may be too close to the camera to really get it to focus in. But it's got a nice little knurling across the head of it, so that these are not cheap. These are not cheap. They could have definitely included something much cheaper. And then also matching washers and nuts to go along with it. So if you're going to mount it to a mount, like a shifter mounting plate, you definitely could do that there. But what I'm excited about are these. I'm going to put these, the rest of them in there. These here. Now what this is, and I'm going to kind of bring it closer to the camera here. If you have an aluminum profile rig, you'll immediately recognize this. So this is pretty much a nut design that you would use for mounting anything to an aluminum profile. It has a little ball bearing on it, so that way it can slide within the aluminum profile, and then it has a threaded end there. So that way you could actually mount your bolt right through it, right? A lot of products that are for sim racing do not come with these because they're not necessarily going to spend the money for including things that amount to an aluminum profile rig because they would count on the customer kind of supplying that. But now a lot of rigs are actually coming as aluminum profile. Aluminum profile is much more common than they used to be. So this is smart. They know their customers and they're including this. Thank you, because I'm actually going to need them. I don't have any more from my rig here. I had some extras and I've utilized them all. So that is awesome. So that's everything inside the package there. And we're going to go through and start installing and really testing this thing out and comparing it to my Fanatec handbrake, my old Fanatec handbrake. Really nothing wrong with the Fanatec handbrake. It's just, you know, it's time. It's time. And I am super excited to really test this one out. We have some more products coming in though. I do have another set here that we're going to be unboxing, not handbrake, but another product for the rig. And I'm very excited to kind of bring that out and show you all. I definitely posted a community post about it, and no one guessed correctly what was in those boxes. So if you have any idea, I'm going to give you a hint. It's 2 different boxes, 1 product, 2 boxes. Definitely go to that community post and post your guesses there. I'm kind of curious to see what everyone thinks that one is going to be. And yeah, and we may have another wheelbase coming in to test, another direct drive wheelbase. And that's going to be awesome if we could actually secure that one in. But everyone, I'm Crash, this is RTA Motorsports. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for hanging out. Stay safe, stay happy, and I'll catch you all next time.
Back and better than ever. I can feel my heart rate, adrenaline pressure. It's stormy weather, lightning, thunder, pouring weather. Yo, I'm a go-getter. Try to do it like me, but I do it better. I got a mind that's clever. The beast inside is competitive as ever. I'm conscious, my subconscious, an accomplice to me. I promise the darkness, I can honest believe. But don't cross me, I might lose control of the lost beast. He's locked away inside with the key control by fight or flight. And this world ain't right, won't accept it. Negative energy.